Hi, Cara.
Hi.
Welcome back to In Our Shoes. I am so excited. I first wanted to have you here because it's not often that I work with someone twice in such a short time frame where, someone like you really taps into what they know their unique value is and takes action, trusting in faith that she has exactly what she is capable of in her potential in her career. And so I just wanted to ask you briefly about briefly about the first experience you had here at In Our Shoes with the training that we covered, and now more recently the more recent news that you have, which I'm celebrating you for. So tell some of our village here what you've done within our shoes and the work that you've done.
When I first came to you, I was a little bit lost as far as I didn't know how to design my resume so that I could accentuate some of my
Assets.
Some of my assets, and mainly just going through the functionality of all of my different skills and displaying them to the world.
Right.
And so when you assisted me with that, and I came up with this extremely powerful resume, and then I never thought that I would actually get the interview that I had. I was so excited when we submitted it to Apple, and they flew me out, and I had this 8-hour interview. It was so exciting. And
you were texting me while you were there.
I was.
Sushi, I'm doing this.
I was so
like I was
excited, and everything that we had talked about, all the coaching that you had provided, really came through, and I just felt like everything was really fluid, and I didn't feel rehearsed at all. I felt very natural.
Right.
So first I had the resume, which they absolutely loved, and then the coaching that I received, that we talked about how to be natural in the interview. It just it was a very good experience. So
yeah, it's about just being yourself. It's not selling yourself. That's
exactly
really what self-promotion is about. And we as women, we get caught up in that,
right.
in that salesman's-y ickiness. But really, at the end of the day, when you walk into a room, whether it be running a meeting, doing a speech, doing a simple interview, even on a phone call,
right.
What you bring to the table is energy. And people can feel that without even the words coming out. So I always tell people when I first sit out with them, don't get caught up in what to say.
Right.
That will come naturally. Get caught up in how to feel and feel passion for what you bring. And most recently, you had a really breakthrough opportunity. So I'm just going to quickly open that up with, you had come to me saying that you're looking for this new opportunity, and you're looking at a specific number, a specific percentage of what you were looking to get. And I looked at you and I said, oh no, we are going so much higher, so much deeper, because you're not, you weren't at the market value, right?
Right.
That you were. And then as soon as we had that conversation, you shared this news with me. Let everyone know what your latest news is.
Yeah, so
you don't have to speak numbers per se, but just percentages or whatever.
Right. Well, I just I wanted to have the increase in pay, but also I wanted to have a job that I was excited about going to every day, and so then I don't know if I should specify.
If it's whatever you feel comfortable with, it's totally. But this was near your house. You wanted something that was near your house.
That was some of the most important things. Was, of course, how much I was making,
right.
Whether I enjoyed going there every day, the type of people that I was working with,
right?
And then having a job where I can actually use my intelligence, and not be afraid of being a woman in a man's world, which I work in geographic information science, so there's a lot of men in that role, and the team that I will be working with, I'm very excited with, because they actually are very excited about having me there. And it was the first time where I felt like I put all my skills on the table, and I was not nervous about explaining to them what I could do and what I was capable of, and they actually embraced that, and so they're excited to have me, so I'm really looking forward to that. But yeah, I mean, before I felt like I was a little bit nervous and kind of settle for things, and now ever since I've been meeting with you and talking about confidence, and even though I'm a intense, more hyper person, it never really came through. You taught me about having a pregnant pause to kind of think about what I was going to say before I said it.
Right, to create that awkward moment for them, but also give you time to speak and think, right? You don't have to answer the question right away.
Exactly. So, I mean, I could hear you talking in my head throughout the interview, and it just came through, you know what I mean? So I made it through the first interview, and then that was just with a single... the guy that will be my manager, and so then after that I met with the actual team, and it's just like I feel like it's been building and building the excitement for this role.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, the commute is less than a half an hour from where I live. The benefits sound like they're amazing, and the wage is, I mean, I can't ask for more. It's, almost double what I was making. So I feel very empowered right now, and just like the sky's the limit. So
I'm really happy for you. 90% of our success is mindset, and anything you visualize, you really can achieve.
Yeah.
Whatever the mind can conceive, it can receive. And there's also this law of reciprocity, which I firmly believe in, which is, the more you give, the more you receive back.
Right.
And so, yes, they hired you for a certain reason, for your unique skill sets, your personality, your energy, but you don't know where this will lead you. And all the things extra, right, that value add, we already know what your value is, but that value add that you're going to bring to the table.
Right.
And I also say, as you start this new role, I tell this to all my students, when you start a new role, not in a negative way at all, but you're always thinking of the next opportunity, the next job, the next stop, and a lot of people don't even stay in that role. They move on to becoming an entrepreneur, which is my story. Never saw that happening. Or they go into more senior level, even executive, right?
Right.
And you're also a mom. You're a single mom.
Yes.
So like me, so on that note as well, I'm really so excited for you, and I just want to share with all of our readers and village here that the Gutsy moves, it's about leading with your gut, right? What would be the one piece of advice you would give everyone before we close? As a woman, professional.
The thing that I learned from you, I think that, two things I would like to say.
Sure.
Leading up to getting this position, I really listened to you about, just taking the time and not necessarily meditating, but actually taking the time, shutting off, everything around you.
Yeah.
And I just sat down and I told the universe, what I wanted to come to me.
Yeah.
And I did that daily, building up to the day I actually was offered the job. And I was like, wow, this really works, So I felt very empowered, in that situation. Also, you're fake it until you make it.
Yeah, in an authentic way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, I do have the skills, but have I necessarily been at that level before? No, I haven't. But I just felt very confident.
Right.
Even though I felt a little bit unsure, I still top it off with a little bit of confidence.
Yeah.
I was gutsy,
Yeah. And you know what? That gap is growth. And that's why, you were hired for that, because it's not about hitting the ground running and knowing it all. It's about that growth period.
Exactly.
So, I'm so glad you mentioned that, because I always remind women of that. It's not about knowing everything day one, you know, otherwise,
Exactly.
you know, then what's the challenge? What's the growth, right? And then when you max out that growth level, then you're ready for the next level. So
Exactly.
I'm so glad you reminded us of that. Thank you so much. I'm so
You're
excited.
welcome. Thank you for everything.
Love you, girl.
Love you too.